Well, they did it. They got me to play Final Fantasy XIV. Now, listen to us jabber.
Okay, so what was the question, Joe? It was a trivia night question thing?
It was trivia night question, and the the category was drinks that fictional characters like to drink, essentially. So,
Oh, God.
Homer Simpson. What does Homer Simpson like to drink?
Beer?
Duff beer.
Yes, the Duff beer thing.
Uh,
I think that one's known by most people at this point.
the Lannisters.
I just remember the line about beer, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems, or something like that.
The Lannisters on the Game of Thrones.
Wine?
What kind of wine?
Duh.
Red wine.
Okay.
And this one was worth 20 points, because I guess he didn't think anybody was going to get it. And only 3 people did. What did the Blues Brothers drink?
Oh, God. It hasn't been that long since we watched Blues Brothers either.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I should know this.
For some reason, I'm wanting to say milk.
I put milk for my answer, and I was wrong.
Chocolate milk?
Or hot cocoa, but I'm thinking it's something completely innocuous.
Give up?
Yeah, because I can't think of it.
Orange Whip.
Yeah, I totally did not remember that. The story details are not what sticks out in my mind about the Blues Brothers.
That's the music, right?
Exactly. And John Belushi's stunt double dancing in the church and doing those backflips and all.
Did you get the ultimate question asked?
Which is?
When traveling at subsonic speed during the last 1 hour of hypersleep, which vector of the Romulan nebula will suffer the wrath of the impenetrable quickening? And for extra points, how many rafts to the nearest Molton?
See, I think you were going to ask me the one about the swallow from Monty Python.
Yeah, I was thinking, what is the air velocity of an unladen swallow?
This is a real question, by the way. This was asked many years ago.
Okay, what's the answer to that crap?
Okay, let me just say this again, okay? When traveling at a subsonic speed during the last 1 hour of hypersleep, which vector of the Romulan nebula will suffer the wrath of the impenetrable quickening? And for extra points, how many rafts to the nearest Molton?
42.
This is a real question, I'm not lying. Go on, Carol, what do you think the answer is?
Whenever I have no idea what the hell somebody's talking about, the answer is always the same. 42. Because 42 is the answer to life, the universe, and everything. And that's part of everything.
Okay, Joe, what's your answer?
I said 42 first, so 42.
Okay, Kieran, what's your answer?
I'm just going to go with 2.
Okay, not quite their answer, but at the same time, as a bit of a copy of the homework. It's really smart.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the answer is the Backstreet Boys.
Wait, what? Who the fuck came up with that?
Yeah, that's one of those, because ice cream has no bones.
No, it's one of those that the mathematical equation itself means those letters. The summation. It's a theoretical question. This was asked at one point during the 90s in a NASA kind of like bar in Florida, Cape Canaveral. And everyone there looked at the guy announcing this on the quiz night and going, what the hell? They even thought it was nonsense as well.
Okay.
Another category tonight was jobs fictional characters have.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
Like, and by the way, for some of them, characters can have multiple jobs. Like for Phil, name me 3 jobs George Costanza had.
Oh, jeez. Was he importing, exporting? I think it was made up though, wasn't it?
That wasn't made up. The architect was made up also.
The Art Vandelay whole persona is completely made up. What was his role when he was with the Yankees?
I know that one.
Was he
Go on.
assistant to the secretary or something?
Oh, you almost had it. Assistant to the traveling secretary.
Okay, assistant to the traveling secretary. Can I answer the other two? No.
I feel like if there's going to be questions about fictional characters' jobs, I mean, the obvious one that would probably be on there is asking what job Chandler Bing had in Friends.
I think this is a trick question because George Costanza spends the majority of Seinfeld unemployed. So.
Oh no, Phil, it's there. Some of them are tricky though for George.
Okay.
Hand model.
Oh, that doesn't count. Are you serious? The Art of Seduction, where he gets the painting done of himself as well as a model.
No,
really?
No, the hand model.
No, hand model is a job.
And he worked for Kruger in the final season, and I think he was making blades for the deli slicers. I don't know what he did. I don't know what he did at Kruger Industrial. I know he worked for that company, and I know that's what that company made. Funny you should ask that.
Okay, when he was self-employed helping Jerry get the pilot on NBC, did that count?
I don't know. That would be an interesting one.
It's a show about nothing. Get out, George.
Let me guess. That was one of the questions.
No,
But
no. We were asked what is Ross's job on Friends? Or
paleontologist.
Paleontologist. Yeah.
Oh, he had multiple jobs though.
He worked at a museum.
Mm-hmm. Paleontologist.
But didn't he curate a collection at a museum?
A museum curator and teacher.
The only way I actually know.
Latest season. Yeah.
Hey, the only way I actually know that Ross is a paleontologist, aside from the fact that he mentions it very commonly on the show every now and then, is like that whole episode with Phoebe where she's like, "I don't believe in evolution."
Oh,
no, she didn't believe in dinosaurs. I think it was. I remember that episode.
Like Phoebe,
she actually made him give up and say, "Fine, you're right." Yeah. It never happened. She was like, "You should stick to your convictions. I don't respect you anymore."
And funny you should ask about Phoebe. That was a question. Phoebe had 4 jobs.
She was a masseuse. She was a singer-songwriter, and I don't know what the others. I know her twin sister was the waitress.
No, she was a lesbian porno actress, wasn't she?
That was the sister.
You got that one. She was a singer, songwriter, the Smelly Cat song. What was the
other more than just the Smelly Cat song. That was just her most famous one.
Yeah. She had a job at one point around about Christmas, the whole ringing the bell and charitable donation thing. Remember that?
Salvation Army bell ringer?
They didn't count that one, or nobody came up with it. But the other 2 were. She would help Monica when it came to catering. And
everybody knows Monica's the caterer, though. I mean,
yeah.
And
I remember her being a waitress.
Well, no, Monica was a chef.
Tom Selleck.
I remember her being a waitress at a 50s cafe, 50s diner.
Tom Selleck, just saying.
Yeah, I remember that episode. That was
yes. And Phoebe's other job, she was a taxi driver.
That's bullshit. She wasn't a taxi driver. She just owned a taxi.
It's a very subtle performance as well, but she does have another vocation that's not explicitly stated in the show. She's an escaped mental patient.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
She also served as a surrogate for her brother and his wife.
That's not a job.
Yeah, but would you call that a job?
It's difficult to be pregnant, and she was pregnant with...
I'm sure it's difficult. I'm just saying I
don't
think I would call it a job. Triplets.
There was a bonus point for Phoebe, by the way. You could put burglar for one, because she did like to steal.
I like that episode where she was in the good place welcoming people into heaven.
Oh, yeah, she was the
philosopher. What was the name of the character she played? I can't remember.
I know it started with a P. I can't remember it.
Was it P? Begin with A. I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
I wish we got to
Rules
see
in the order.
Michael McKean's character in The Good Place in the final episode.
Oh, they should have brought him back.
But
for
no,
that.
it's just like the common joke was like nobody knew what the fuck Chandler Bing's job was.
Mhm.
So
But he
Yeah.
did work in an office, and at one point his boss used to like to slap his ass. But it wasn't
Hmm.
just Chandler's; it was everybody's asses that the boss slapped. That
What
being
was Chandler's job? Let's have a look.
And I love that episode, Carol, because he like talks to the boss kind of like, "Sir, could you maybe please not slap my ass?" And it's like, "All right, no problem." And he shakes Chandler's hand at the end of the episode, and then Chandler feels left out. Like, "You're feeling left out, aren't you?" "Yeah, kinda." "All right, buddy, I'll slap your ass too."
The answer was kept deliberately vague for much of the show's 10-year run, but it was eventually revealed that he worked for a field of statistical analysis and data reconfiguration. He later quits the job and starts at a less than well-paid career as an advertising copywriter.
I feel Joey's is the easiest for that show.
Oh, yeah,
Actor.
'cause it's like every sentence he gets.
yeah, but he's also had multiple jobs in that show as well.
What else did he do other than acting?
Modeling.
I remember in one later episode, it was in a casino. He was dressed up as a Roman god.
I remember like his most famous role was that doctor on that soap opera show.
I remember he had an interview to do, and he had his friends hang out at a table next to where he was doing the interview at a table, and it was at the coffee shop he was doing the interview, because he needed them there to stop him from saying something stupid. And he got through the whole interview just fine without needing their interference. He was really good. And then at the very, very end, the interviewer, after packing everything up, but the tape recorder was still running, said, "One last question. How do you feel about watching yourself play this character on this show?" And he looked and said, "Are you kidding? I've never watched that crap." And it came out before anybody could stop him.
I was like the fact that his character of Draco Ramore, by the way, had a twin brother called Striker Ramore, and also had an evil twin brother called Hans Ramore.
If there were three of them, then there were triplets, not twins.
Shh, the show doesn't address that logic.
Oh, here's an
Phil,
interesting.
critical hit, skill speed, direct hit rate, and determination. I gotta pick
Which-
between the four.
Which job?
Monk.
Then skill speed, critical hit, and direct hit rate.
So I
deter-
just max critical hit and
Crit
skill
first,
speed, and then
skill speed second, then direct hit.
Right, so don't spread them around. Just
Determination is for jobs with dots, essentially.
I'll be
so-
right back. I gotta say I did it, kids.
so don't spread it around. Just 531 on crit, 531
Yes.
on skill speed, 120 on direct hit rate, and fuck all on determination.
Yes, it actually
Okay.
comes under, believe it or not, a different thing if you were playing a tank, for example. If you were playing a tank, it would be direct hit rate before crit and skill speed. The reason why is because tanks are completely wired differently now. It used to be crit hit for everybody, melee.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, sure.
just like...
Just thought I'd double check that. Yeah, I thought that was going to be the case. Just
surprised you're not telling Tom, actually. He's in Bravelocks.
fuck that.
Can't be
You'll
doing
find
this.
out when I post an image to the Discord or some shit.
Oh, you're making the monk weapon.
Yeah.
Yuki.
Yeah, I'm still in cutscene.
Still in the
I
same
wasn't-
scene.
I wasn't skipping the dialogue, so I was just talking. So, god damn it, my glam sort of doesn't show
Does it
off
not-
much of the
it-
fucking. Doesn't show off the relic all that great.
Well, it's like 3 glowing diamonds on each hand, isn't it? I'm not sure what color. Is it brown or is it green?
Yeah,
Is it yellow?
kind of like an orangish sort of red.
Okay. Yeah, finding images of this monk relic is kind of odd. Like, everybody's got images of Red Mage, Bard, Gunbreaker, and Warrior, but nobody actually has.
Yeah, all the popular classes.
Like, even Samurai got a good one as well this time. Yeah, that Red Mage Relic is like easily the coolest looking one. It's hard to screw up a rapier,
It's
isn't
just-
it? I mean,
Not that many people play Monk.
yeah, it's becoming like one of the least popular jobs now in the game.
Hmm.
You still see people do it though, because it gets results of the job, but I think it's the positionals
Hmm.
in like focus content. I think that's the one thing that kind of puts people off now for that job, which you can honestly see. I'm just like restructuring it anyway.
Yeah, it's the positionals. Positionals aren't too bad, though, honestly.
Thing is, you get like 2 shots of North Star anyway. You can just shoot that thing out.
Not only that, the amount of bosses these days that have like the full ring, so it's like, oh well, positionals don't fucking matter anyway.
Look at Bismarck. Bismarck's colossal.
Yeah.
It's a whale.
Yeah, so basically, anytime you get something like that, it's like, oh, okay, it doesn't matter where I stand, I'm automatically going to get the positional right because they can't fucking figure out a way of doing positionals for that.
I mean, I'm looking at the monk weapon now. That's pretty cool. That's neat.
Mm.
It looks like Commander Shepard's laser thing from Mass Effect. You know the Omni tool thing they usually had in his gauntlet that turned into like a
Yeah.
sword in the 3rd game.
I'm back.
Yay.
This was an interesting one. I mean, I remember because I used to love the Munsters. What was Herman Munster's job?
Oh, God, he was a factory worker.
Mm-mm.
No, bus driver.
Mm-mm.
I'm thinking. Okay, then what was it?
He worked at a funeral parlor. Oh, sorry, Phil.
No, I was going to say the same thing then. I remember the company was Gateman, Goodbury, and Graves, but I didn't remember if it was a funeral parlor.
It was a funeral parlor. He had various jobs there. Like, I think in one episode he was digging a grave. And this one's fairly easy. On Home Improvement, what was Tim's job?
He was the host of the Tool Time.
He grunted like a gorilla for 97 episodes.
Basically.
Kind of like he sabotaged his own TV show. Because wasn't his assistant Al like the competent one?
Yes. He was the intelligent and experienced one. I remember very, very early on, it might have only been for the first couple episodes of the first season, the owner of the tool company that produced the show, that he actually worked for the tool company, Binford Tools. The intro for the show was done by the owner's wife, Mrs. Binford. And I can remember in an episode of Home Improvement when she introduced it, but she was very obviously inebriated. And he said to her, "Thanks, Mrs. Bin in the Sauce," for that introduction.
And here's another one for drinks. Laverne and Shirley.
Laverne drank her Pepsi and milk all the time.
Yep.
But they also worked for a beer company. I can't remember the name of the beer company, though.
Was it a beer company or a soda company?
It was beer.
Okay. But yeah, Pepsi and Coke was to drink. Pepsi and milk, I'm sorry.
Pepsi and milk, and that...
And
I actually do not understand that.
this was probably the easiest question on the planet for me. Because they started out the game with famous catch lines for our commercials, and one of them was melts in your mouth, not in your hands.
M&M's.
Yeah.
That's an old commercial.
This one's so easy. Snap, crackle, and pop.
Rice Krispies.
Uh-huh.
Or what it's like to be my age and stand up.
Trying to think of the other ones. Oh, this one's so easy. Give me a break.
Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Mm-hmm. Like a good neighbor.
State Farm is there.
Mm-hmm. Can you hear me now?
Wasn't that Sprint?
Mm-mm. Verizon.
Verizon. Okay.
I'm glad these are a bunch of tags
You're-
that I don't know.
Yeah,
Really?
we're getting into that. You're getting into when I stopped watching TV.
What
I
about
I know the Kit Kat one because we had that one for like decades.
you don't have Eminem commercials over there?
We don't have Eminem. Listen to what you're saying. You're the only madman about M&Ms.
Yeah, but you clearly know what they are.
M&M's crap.
You
I
clearly
like
know what they
M&Ms,
are.
okay.
Do I not have M&M commercials? Like, what is there about M&Ms that's so desirable anyway?
Do you not have
M&Ms
M&Ms? Do you not have M&Ms in the UK? Like, if I went over there
Oh,
and
yeah,
I said, "Can I have an M&M?" but they think I was insane.
we have M&M packets over here. Yeah, you can totally buy them from shop stores, everything, confectionery stands. But what about them is so desirable?
Anything is desirable. Clearly, there's a market for it if they're in if they're mass produced.
They also come across to me as a niche confectionery, I'm afraid. Like, maybe for you they're amazing, but to me it's just like, it's chocolate and a bit of nut, I'm afraid. I can get that on a Lion Bar.
Nuts, really? I don't have nuts in mine.
What's in an M&M? Go on.
Chocolate and whatever the hell the shell is around it.
What, the sugar-coated... Let me have a look.
And according to Kieran, the lead paint made for the M.
No, it's the chocolate itself grown in Africa that tends to have lead in it. The cocoa grown in Africa.
This is where we've gone tonight, by the way. The anatomy of an M&M.
M&M.
Yeah, exactly. Comes in widespread varieties all over the world. Peanut butter, almond, pretzel, crispy dark chocolate, and caramel. Oh, sorry, caramel. Forgot about our American friends.
I say caramel.
Yeah, okay. Screw you, Carol. Get under that bus. Yeah,
I
melts
said
in your hand.
caramel.
Hey, melts in your mouth and on your hand. You were right. That's actually the slogan.
Yeah. Joe and I were both right. Imagine that.
I think another one was finger looking good.
KFC.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, that was Kentucky Fried Chicken.
More
That
same
was
thing.
before it became KFC.
They just shortened down the words so it became more phonetic. You know, it just rolls off the tongue. It is more recognizable, I guess, to the consumer. Was it actually just like, it's still the name? I mean,
Have it your way was another one.
Burger King.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some of these are so easy.
no, I mean, okay, the KFC thing is Kentucky Fried Chicken because it's just a general thing. They couldn't copyright that as their own business, so they went with KFC as, you know, an acronym.
No, Kentucky Fried Chicken, it has been copyrighted for, or trademarked for decades.
For 2008's Valentine's Day, Mars introduced all green bags of M&Ms due to the
Yeah.
common urban folklore that green M&Ms are actually
Make
an
you horny.
aphrodisiac.
Yeah.
Did you know this, Kieran?
No. I don't know.
Urban folklore says that the green M&M is an aphrodisiac.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because
that?
people are
Never
sadly dumb
realized-
enough to actually believe that.
Oh my god, you never realized that the green M&M in the commercials where they're anthropomorphized, the green M&M is the only one who's female, and she kind of, like, struts around and bats her eyelashes.
I never got sexually aroused by an M&M
I'm
before,
not
Carol,
saying
if that's what you're
I
asking.
imagine. I'm not asking if you got sexually aroused. I said, did you not notice
I
that
noticed
with
the
the anthropomorphized M&Ms in commercials?
I'm gonna be
I
honest. From the perspective of a UK M&M confectionery consumer, okay, the only advertisements I've ever seen for this snack is from cinema advertisements, where it's always Billy West playing the red one and
Mhm.
some guy who's obviously supposed to be like It sounds like Robbie from Everybody Loves Raymond, who's the yellow one, his partner. Like, it's only ever been those two for us. I don't know.
Wait,
The really tall guy.
Josh Garrett or Gad?
Brad Garrett.
Brad Garrett.
Brad Garrett? Okay.
I just said. Anyway.
Okay, but Carol, the blue M&M is associated with, being a coward in those advertisements. I never heard of any urban legend about if you eat a lot of blue M&Ms, you're going to be a coward.
That's because blue's not one of the original colors.
That doesn't matter. It's still a color now. It's been a color for like 20 years.
This whole thing
Holy
about
crap.
the green M&Ms goes back to like the 70s, if not further.
Red M&M originally was played by John Lovitz for like a year. Then it was Billy West up until now, okay? And John Goodman played the yellow one for 2 years, and then J.K. Simmons has been playing the yellow one ever since, to this day.
It's J.K. Simmons? Oh my god.
Yeah, playing the yellow M&M. And the green one is supposedly Cree Summer, who we've heard in like a million things.
Yeah, she's been in so many video games.
The
Oh,
orange one...
yeah, she used to actually act. I think, if I'm not mistaken, she was in that show Different World, which Lisa Bonet got when she got too old to still be on Cosby Show, and was like supposed to be her in college.
The orange M&M is played by David Cross.
Oh god.
Is there a little girl home all alone here?
So in other words, he's an idiot.
He's fully fledged anal rapist.
So is being an idiot associated with the orange M&M?
Apparently.
My point is, Carol, when I watch these M&M commercials, I really don't associate any connotation to them. I just thought these, were fictional versions some writer somewhere in Hollywood came up with, and the M&M company decided to just roll with it.